Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, and sometimes we forget about foster kids being part of that most vulnerable part of our population, but the number continues to grow, and the COVID-19 situation is not making it any better. I want to welcome in James Acquisto from SAFY. They help find foster families for kids. Thank you, James, for being on with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. This is great.
I want to ask you about if someone's considering foster parenting, now is still a good time because you can do all of your trainings virtually.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is something I think people don't or may have a misconception about, that we've stopped, doing our business. But it's actually the opposite. We are able to continue training with our current foster parents as well as people we have in process through Skype and other virtual platforms. So it's actually picked up, and we've been busier, surprisingly, with our group of people in process. So we've moved everything online, virtual settings. People are able to do the trainings within their own home, at their own convenience. So it's actually been surprisingly busy these last few weeks. Yeah.
Well, that is good news, because I think some people forget that a lot of times schools are a refuge for some of these children, and teachers are often the ones who may notice signs of abuse or neglect and report that. And with no school being in, the number of abuse and neglect cases is on the increase.
You are absolutely right. And that is something that I didn't realize. My treatment director mentioned that. She said, we need to be prepared for kids to be removed from their homes at a higher rate after all of this, because like you said, they don't have any other interaction. They are stuck at home, and parents are stuck at home, some parents at least. So yes, absolutely, abuse and neglect could be picking up more, which means, kids need foster care agencies more now than ever, and they also need foster parents, which is one of my responsibilities, is to recruit foster parents and let people know about the need for foster parents. So yes, there is it's been busier around SAFY as a foster care agency. Absolutely.
One of my friends actually did a virtual adoption this week. So that is also something that is now being done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's surprising because, again, you wouldn't think that. You just kind of think that everything has stopped, and that, kids have stopped being removed, and foster parents have stopped being foster parents. But, I can't emphasize enough how it's the exact opposite. And like you said, with the adoption, they are figuring out how to operate on a virtual setting, because abuse doesn't stop, neglect doesn't stop. These kids are still going to be removed, and they still need a safe place to be. So they are figuring it out, how to operate online, how to do our jobs, in a virtual setting. So,
James, what's the best way if someone is interested in fostering a child, whether it just be temporarily or to adopt? What's the best way for people to go about doing that?
Yeah, I think the first step is often viewed as kind of the hardest thing to do. Reach out because you don't know where to reach out, or if you will be pressured into going through the process. But that's, why I'm here as a foster parent recruiter at SAFY. My job is to ease people through the process, and really just, I'm here to answer questions and to give information. But there are several ways to reach out to us. We are online. SAFY.org is our website. You can get so much information there. There is a link to request more information, which comes straight to me, and I will reach out within 24 hours. We are on Facebook, SAFY of KY. You see signs everywhere. We have, you can call our office. You can drop in our office. Not now, obviously, but, when under normal circumstances. Just don't hesitate to reach out. That is, that would be my biggest fear, but I can't stress enough how there are no strings attached. I'm here pretty much at the disposal of the public to give information and to answer questions. So I encourage you to anyone out there to take that step and not be afraid to reach out.
There are some other great organizations, including CASA of Lexington, and then of course the state itself, which has guardianship over all foster care kids. And there are nearly 10,000 of them in our state right now waiting for homes.
Yes, that number has been increasing steadily, and yes, it is approaching 10,000. There is definitely a need now more than ever, yes.
James, thank you so much. SAFY.org if you have any more questions for James, if you can open up your heart at this time. Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
More Hey Kentucky right after this.